All right, we are here. It's technically look at it this way, but it's more of a peek at it this way with Nicole Johnson, uh, talking about her new work. So first off, let's start with the title of this piece. So what is the title and how'd you come up with it?
Well, titles are always my hardest thing because as a person who struggles with language, pinning things down, um, I just struggle with naming things. I generally just call it what it is. If it's like a stuffed animal, that's pig, it's Mr. Pig. So I went with Channel 13 because I was thinking about how a big part of this is that thing that happens when you're in a performance space or an art space that's happening live. I'm always interested in how the performers and the audience like potentially line up on the same frequency or, we're tuning into each other's frequency and then that begins to merge and mix and it becomes something else. So it's not just the performer creating it, performers responding to the audience is feeding off and it creates this third thing. And
Mm.
so yeah, it made me think about channels and like tuning into what frequencies, like a radio station or a TV station. And I'm also attempting to like channel information like through me to other people or bring other people's energies in and process that and then shift that energy and move it back out. So I thought that was kind of a fun play on words. And I went with 13 because of 13 moons. Um, Lucky number, there's kind of like a lot of interesting history around the number 13 as well. So yeah, it felt like the one. I'm gonna do
Nice.
one on each full moon for the time being.
Yeah, well, that leads me to like, what are the restraints and the rules of this piece?
Whew. Um,
I was like, I said it was going to be softball.
well, okay, for myself or for the audience, or
You
can
could
we
start out with
zoom in a bit?
let's start out with the basic ones. So they're the same day a week, right? Or the same day every month, right? Or it's every
It
full moon.
it's every full moon, I decided. And it just happens to fall on the 12th of the month, this month and next month. But that'll obviously start to shift as we move forward.
And
I'm
how many people can be
creating
in the room?
creating a container of 13 people. So that'll be 12 audience and myself. So there'll be 12 tickets available for each performance. Um, and I've been really interested in doing kind of small batch performances for a while. It's just something that's interested me, but specifically for this, I think a smaller well, I'm attempting not to overwhelm myself with the
Mhm.
energy of the room. I want it to be a manageable energy that I can work with. And while of course I've worked with large audiences even like as a solo performer, but not as directly trying to like exchange energy and work as intimately this way. So yeah, I was really interested in just a small group of people, but doing the performance regularly so that it could have kind of a bit of, I don't know, stamina. It's the wrong word, but yeah, slow.
Yeah, I was wondering why a series and not a one-time event.
I think for me, well, part of it comes down to ritual, the ritual of a performance, and also coming in a really simple way, it relieves the pressure because I can try something, take the information, come back, reapproach it, come back, reapproach it. It's going to be a learning process for me and something that I expect to grow and evolve. Um, Having only 12 seats, it's something that I wanted to be able to open up more seats to and also allow people to potentially revisit, um, come back. It might feel like something important to them on a full moon at some point. Um, and the energy of each moon will be different in each season and where each person's at. So, yeah, I'm really liking the idea of having something consistent to return to as a practice and a practice to develop and grow with.
So as this event recurs, for the people who watch it, do you imagine or would you like for them to keep what happened a secret, or is this something where word of mouth may uh, have a life of its own outside of it?
Definitely not trying to keep it secretive. I yeah, my poor advertising, my lack of advertising or talking about things is not really intended to be secretive. It's for just probably low self-confidence.
Like the
Um,
question everyone asking, is this a cult?
I don't think so. That would be my primary goal to stay away from. So no, but it is like I think you could say there's like I don't want to scare people because some people this would be a scary word, but like there's occult influences. Um, not, but this is not a cult in any way, shape, or form. It's a 1 hour shared experience, and it's really similar to what I think it's similar to a performance because these things are already happening in performance. All I'm doing is kind of acknowledging something that already exists between the performer and the receiver and trying to heighten that. Um, and my friend was also talking about it. They were like, oh, it's similar to a massage, like in the
Mm,
way that when you lay down for a massage, not only is that person like working on you physically, but there's an energetic exchange that's happening there. And only in this exchange, it's not going to be, there's not going to be any physical touch. So it's just kind of like a heightened way of being together energetically and taking what's already there and acknowledging it and playing with it.
yeah, magic is a big, sometimes scary word, but I think what you're talking about is finding magic in a moment of 13 of 13 individuals being together.
Yeah,
Um, and
exactly.
it is dependent on who's in the room of like what magic comes forth. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and I think that's the really fun part is it's not me who's shaping it. It's really co-created between all of us. Um, and there's, uh, yeah, hopefully there's a lot of like agency for each person in the room as well. So really going in with the goal, like, people can leave at any point in time. You can come closer in, you can move, you'll be on rolling seats, so you can change your perspective throughout the performance. You can pull further away. There's a lot of ability for you to kind of decide what your perspective is and what your level of engagement is. If you're more on the observing end, or if you feel more actively uh, kind of radiant and putting it out there.
Mm. All right, so some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
We'll see how you do.
Ooh.
If if this piece was three colors, what would the three colors be?
Purple, pink, and black.
Nice. All right, so this piece sounds like two instruments. What are the two instruments?
Drum and piano.
I knew you were gonna have something percussive in there.
I almost said like violin, but or like cello, but
Nope,
the
first answer.
string instrument.
It's a string. Okay. For this month.
Yeah.
And then what's one animal that represents this piece?
A snake popped into my head, but I couldn't tell you why.
All right. Love that. I've been writing about snakes recently.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've
Well,
been
the
in.
snake, it like evokes so much. I mean, especially on I feel like it's one of those animals that is like deeply polarized. Like there's some people that like feel very drawn to it as like in the positive sense, and some people in the very negative sense. And uh yeah, it's interesting. It's a really interesting animal.
Yeah. Okay, that we're gonna close the curtain on Channel 13.
Thanks
Uh,
so much, Nicholas.
thank you, and come see it, everybody, on the 12th. It doesn't matter which 12th. Just
Come see it on the 12th, 8 p.m. Um, and tickets are free. So reserve your
do fly
ticket.
space.
But if you're not going to come, please release your ticket because there's not that many seats available.
Right. All right, thank you.
Thanks.